Welcome back to Bless Your Heart, I'm Talking, the podcast. This is Zeta, your host, and I got a fun show for y'all this week. I'm going to have on a guest that I found randomly on social media a few years ago, and he's just really funny, and I just feel like he has my sense of humor, and people will find that funny. And so I'd love for you to follow him. His name is Jeremy Plumley. He's going to be joining us here shortly. I'm not going to do a big going into things because I got him and we're going to talk for a while. But I will say that it's really funny because I have an ongoing joke with all my friends. We pre-recorded the interviews. I already know what is coming. And as we talked, it turns out he has a 6-degree separation of Zeta situation. Now, granted, he's from San Saba, so that makes sense. But it was really funny to find out. So if you're not familiar with 6 degrees of separation, go ahead and stop now and Google that. And that is where Kevin Bacon, everybody in Hollywood, is connected to him within 6 degrees. So like so-and-so did a movie, who did a show, whose cousin did a show with Kevin Bacon. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But I've had an ongoing joke about how everybody has 6 degrees separation from me. I meet people all the time that within 6 people, I can connect to. I should have already known them, or I might have already met them or run into them. And this is a perfect example. And it comes after the interview. We're like, it's a 40-minute interview. And like, we're like 38 minutes in when this pops up. So I thought it was really funny. Anyways, I'd love for you to listen and join and input and like and share. And I'd love for you to follow him. His name's Jeremy Plumley. I'm going to tag him. I'm going to make sure y'all know who he is so you can see. So if you want to follow me, if you don't already on social media, I am Zeta Owens on Facebook, Zada Owens. And I am Z Mamacita on Instagram. Or you can find me under Bless Your Heart, I'm Talking on Instagram, or Two Sides in the Truth on Facebook, because I've yet to change that because I suck, and that's the old podcast name. But find it. I will be tagging him. I would love for you to follow him. He's just kind of funny and like someone if you want a little bit of lift me, like just giggles occasionally when you get a post. He's a great person to follow. He just got monetized and I just really want to support him. You know, we always want to help people up. And so I thought it was a good opportunity to have him on the show. And so if you want to follow me, I will tag him so you can follow him. And if you are one of his, I don't know if followers is the right word, but you're someone that came to listen to the podcast so you can hear Jeremy. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you listen to other podcasts of mine. It is primarily focused on women and life and fucking dumbasses that I'd like to talk shit about. Like, whatever, I'm multifaceted with this stuff. I talk a lot about San Saba and the Hill Country because that is where I'm from. And I love it there. And I love the people there. And so it's great to have y'all if you're joining us. Other than that, that's pretty much what this show is about this week. We won't be doing any catching up or any of that stuff because I feel like we don't need to. And we'll join next week on that catching up situation. The other thing is, I got one thing I want to talk about, and it's the most random fucking thing, but I'm being serious here, and I want you to listen closely, okay? So, you may or may not be on TikTok, on social media a lot. I am. I might have a slight addiction to TikTok, and on there, you see a lot of like old HD TV shows, like the ones about like they'll show women like decorating their homes from like 1992, and they're really going hard on like the country blue with the ducks, or on like the forest green with the maroon accents. Also, maybe ducks, maybe some gold things. There's gonna be a lot of random paint that doesn't make any sense in homes, and some sponge painting. You know what I'm talking about. You know the look, okay? Now bear that in mind, okay? I call it like circa 1995, And you know how when you follow TikTok and stuff, you see all these girls, and men too occasionally, but it's mainly girls trying to emulate 1980s and they've done their bedroom in the 80s or they've done their home in the 80s. And it's never real 80s. It's like what you see on TV 80s. It's like neon signs. It's like checkerboard prints. It's like graffiti, neon colors. Realistically speaking, our homes in the 80s had a lot of browns. And unless you were in like Florida and you look like the Golden Girls, but really that wasn't the case. It was a lot of browns, okay? And these people trying to recreate these 80s things, they do a whole theme, right? But have you seen anybody try to recreate these 90s country blue duck kitchens? Have you seen anyone try to do that? No. And let me tell you, I have a thought on this, okay? Because it's showing up on HGTV like old. They like to show these old ones. And I think they're kind of like joking, like, how bad is this? But eventually, there is going to be a generation that's like, I want to emulate the 1990s mom look. And they're going to wear like sweater vest and khakis and like, I don't know, what are those shoes called? The little brown, really ugly ones. Oh, I've gone blank. You know what I'm talking about. They're like a loafer thing. I've gone completely blank. And like with a Dooney and Burke purse, they're emulating this look. Y'all know the look I'm talking about, okay? It wasn't cute the first round. It was not. I'm thinking it's going to come around. Because look, when I was a kid, we wanted to look like we were from the 50s, the 60s, even the 70s, but more the 50s and 60s because we actually lived the 70s. That wasn't such a big deal. We would do like hippie day, but that was it. Like, and most people weren't really hippies. Like my family was, but most people weren't. So it was like a character of the 70s. But really we wanted to be 50s. We wanted to be 60s. We wanted to be sock hop girls. We were doing like the lip syncs in drama class that were like the songs our parents listened to that were from the 50s. But you have to think these younger kids, their parents are from the 90s. It's coming, y'all. We're going to see people doing country blue and ducks in their kitchen. And I am ready for it. I want it. I want to see it. I'm going to laugh at them and tell them it was ugly the first time. But I'm going to appreciate the fact that they think we were awesome. Did I ever have that? No, because my mom had really good taste and I was poor. So between the two of us, it never happened. But I cannot wait to see people do it. And I think it's going to happen. And it made me think, what else are they going to emulate? Are they going to try to like get our style? Are they going to suddenly be wearing like Yaga shirts and baggy jerboa with like, oh yeah, I guess they are. I mean, they haven't done the jerboa thing and y'all should. Listen, younger people that don't listen to me because you're not my listener base. Y'all need to catch on to the jerboa look because that was the shit back then, okay? So, we do this jerboa shirt with the pants with really baggy, there are multiple options here, but, some kind of skater / surfboarder inspired shirt. Okay. And we were going to have the little beads, the little shell beads, the hookah beads. Is that what they're called? Shell beads? What are they called? Okay. Birkenstocks with socks. You have to wear white socks, not any other color. White socks, Birkenstocks. Okay. If you can't get the Birkenstocks, the Docs will do. Okay. That's what you need to wear. Hair all natural with a little bit of like spritzer to bring out the curl, but like no big bangs. I think y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. Listen, the country blue and the duck was not it, okay? But those jerboa were it. What's wrong with y'all? Why is it y'all taking this long for y'all to catch on to that bullshit? We were looking adorable. Let me tell you the benefit of the jerboa, okay? Because baggy pants weren't it. We grew up in the 80s when you had literally jeans. You wanted them to fit so tight, you so tight, okay? That you would get a yeast infection tight. And now we're looking for like, suddenly we wanted jerboa jeans, which were really baggy, except the very top. Jerboa knew to make the very top a little bit more cinched to like say, oh, she does have a waist. Looky there. It's hidden. She's so cool. She didn't want anyone to know she's got a waist. That's the look we're going for. That's my expectation. And I need generation, whatever the fuck you are right now, to start emulating that. And until then, I want to hear nothing else, because I think if you're willing to do these 1970s kitchens and these 1980s fake bedrooms, you can do a fucking 1990s country blue duck kitchen like our mamas did. Well, not mine, because, we didn't do that. But, other moms. Please do it. That's all I'm saying. Until then, I want you to enjoy the show and come back and listen again. For the new listeners that are here to listen to Jeremy, because I think he has a pretty big little group of people like him. And I'm telling y'all now, you locals of San Saba, I'm there often, and I would love to meet people and hang out. And if Jeremy does a show at Diggs or wherever, I'm there. I grew up in San Saba. That's my people, okay? So I'll be there, all right? And support him and support whatever he's doing. And it might be crazy, and it might seem like he's a creative person. He's just, I feel like he's just kind of a natural artist, whether he likes it or not. And y'all need to support that, because when you have real friends, that's what you do. You support the creative outlet, and he has a lot of creative ideas, and I feel like if he's given the chance, he can really do a lot, and I hope I can help in that. And thanks for joining me, and enjoy the show. So I mentioned earlier that I was going to bring a special guest on this week, and the special guest that I want to bring on is Jeremy. Jeremy, I've never said your last name. Is it Plumley?
Plumley, yeah, Plumley.
Plumley. Okay. I was like, I don't know how to say this. But I'm bringing him on because during COVID, during the big COVID world where everybody was locked up, everybody was on social media a little more than usual. That's when TikTok became a big deal. And I noticed on the little local San Saba page, which for new listeners, San Saba is my hometown, which I haven't lived since 79. But my whole family lives there. So I spent a lot of time there, and it's in the hill country of Texas, and which is central Texas. And Jeremy would always post on the local page about, his funny little things during COVID. And, it's a small town, so there's not a lot of, you see the same names popping up on this, and he got quarantined and got locked up in the house. And Jeremy, I wanted you to tell us what you did there, because it was really funny, and it made me follow you and comment and let you know. I just was like, this guy is a great writer.
Yeah. So 2020 was rough on everybody. And so it was just, I got bored. I was quarantined with my daughters, and everybody's just down and out, and, you can't be around people, and there's nobody to talk to. And, everybody's at home having to distance themselves. And so I was sitting there one day, and my daughters did something, and I said, I'm going to write a story about this real fast. So I wrote the first quarantine, which is, I didn't ever post the first one for some reason. I posted day 2, but I never posted day 1. So I still got day 1 somewhere.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at. I can't find it, but there was a day 1. So it started at day 2. And I posted it that day, and it got, it got shared, it got liked, people were laughing. So, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go post another one. So I did it the next day. And so by day 4, day 5, I started getting inboxes, like DMs from people. And people were like, hey, when are you going to release the new one? When are you going to release the new one? I was like, what is going on? I was like, the quarantine diaries? And they were like, yeah. They were like,
yeah.
We look forward to those every day. And
it was so funny. And it was so well timed, because we're all sitting at home bored.
Yeah, everybody's bored. And so I was sitting there, and of course, I love making people laugh. Like that's my biggest thing. I just want to make people laugh. I want to make people feel good. And, I will tell stories all day if you listen to me. Brick wall talk back to me. Me and that brick wall would be best friends by the end of the day.
Right. So, I feel you.
Yeah. And so it got to a point where every day I was getting probably 40, 45 messages in my DMs just, hey, what time are you going to release the new one? What time are you going to release the new one? I was like, oh my gosh, did this really take off like that?
Yeah. And then you're getting pressure,
Yeah.
If honestly, I think that if you had put that on TikTok, it would have gone viral.
Oh, yeah. And if I would have known anything about TikTok, and my daughters would have talked to me during quarantine, because they're girls. And so they were like, no, Dad's not cool.
Yeah, you're not doing that.
yeah, your dad's cool. Your dad's cool as shit. Y'all are missing out on him.
Right?
But,
I tell my kids that all the time. They don't know. No, they believe me now. Now they think it's funny because they're like, you really do have more friends than us. And
well, they don't like it when I start using their lingo. I'm like, oh, that's chuggy. Oh, don't use chuggy. You don't even know what that means. I'm like, it's got to be the same thing we used back in the day, you know?
Yeah. They're so funny. You know, that's when it encourages me to do it. That's when I start I'm going to use every word they hate. My daughter hates when I put LOL.
Oh, geez. LOL, really?
Yeah, she hates it. And I use it a lot. I definitely overuse it. I'm definitely a Gen Xer, and I'm LOLing the fuck out of everything.
Oh, yeah, that's me, too. I'm laughing my ass off about everything. That's where my ass went. I just laughed it all off.
I found it.
Yeah.
But she's like, she thinks it's so ridiculous. I do it all the time, and it only encourages me to do it. And so now I make sure if I text her, there's at least one LOL in there. And this has been going on for 10 years.
See, it's fun having kids for that reason.
Yeah. I get to
Yes, you get to do, my mom and dad never did that to me, thank goodness, but I'll do it to them all the time. I'm just, I'll use their link more than they've used it.
No, it's always fun to, and then when their friends come over to do it to their friends.
Yeah.
And their friends love it. They think it's funny too. So then now y'all are in on a joke against the kid and that's just good parenting. That's what that is.
Yeah, my kids' friends love me. They think I'm hilarious. My kids don't think I'm shit. You are not funny.
Yeah, I know. Mine don't either. They're just like, Rick really doesn't think I'm funny. Out of everybody, Rick thinks I'm the least funny, and he does not want to hear another story.
Doesn't want to hear.
No. And he was like, no one cares about that. And I was like, no one cares if you like it. If you want to, you liked hearing it when you were pursuing me. You liked that.
You used to laugh at this.
Yeah. Tell me another story. No, not anymore. Now there's no stories to be told. I'm like,
no stories.
But I do tell the same stories over and over again. I don't know if you do that, but I'm at the age now where I forget, if it was you I told before.
Yeah, I do that a lot. They're like, fuck this one. They'll finish the story for me.
Oh, yeah. Now, when we drive to San Saba is a good example. When we drive out there, every time we hit a landmark where I have previously told him something, he now tells me, and I don't mean an actual landmark. I mean, like, one time I was at that gas station and my brother,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those little memories are the ones that add up, and then that's when you start getting them all confused, and you don't know who you told about anything.
Yeah, I talk a lot. I tell a lot. I repeat a lot of the same stories.
Yeah, that's how I am. I repeat a lot of the same stories, and I'm like, dude, we've heard this, and like, well, you're going to hear it again. This isn't for you. This is for people that don't know.
I added a new element to it. Okay, now it's new. It's a little freshened it up.
I've got some hand motions going.
Yes.
Got a head twist going here. So, yeah.
I remembered that I had a red shirt on that day. Before, I wasn't sure, but then I remembered. Like, come on. There's more to this story.
Before I got into that fight.
They don't listen. And, it's funny because Al, I do the other podcast with Al Mack. And he DJs on the Kid Craddock Show. And it is, since it's radio, and podcasts and radio are different. On a podcast, you can really talk. Whereas on the radio, the average listener is usually just in their car for 20 minutes. So they really are needing to just give you 20 minutes of entertainment, a little bit of everything. They don't, if they take out the whole one thing for 20 minutes, and they're not interested in that one thing, they're going to change the channel, And so, look, of course, my kid tries to call me in the middle of interviewing. I knew one would. I almost warned them. No one call me.
But nobody calling me right now. Yeah, that's crazy about Big Al, though, because I grew up, I lived in Fort Worth until I was 12, so we were always listening to Kid Craddock in the morning on the way to work.
That's so funny.
And so then you said that you were co-hosting a podcast with him, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I grew up with that voice. I could hear it in my head.
I grew up listening to Kid Craddock. So I am 50, and when I was in when I was in probably 7th, 8th grade in the 80s, he was on the radio here in Dallas on a different station. Mm-hmm. And I grew up listening to Kid Craddock, and I listened to him religiously. And then I listened to Al when Al joined. I was a young adult by then, I think. And when Kelly joined,
is whenever he joined. That's whenever I started, having my consciousness going was whenever he was on the show. I think they were on 106.1. I think it's Kiss FM.
Yes, it still is. Yeah, they are still on that. And it was funny because when he joined, if you remember then they would make him do all this crazy messed up stuff. Mm-hmm. And I would there were times I had to turn the station because I was nervous for him.
Yeah. I grew up listening to that. And that was every morning on the way to school. My dad would drop us off, and Kid Craddock was playing.
Yes,
all the time.
So funny. Never in a million years would I think he'd end up being one of my good friends. And
I know that is nuts. That is nuts. He is not the person that he seems like he is.
No, he's the same guy. He's the same guy. Awesome. I mean, there's parts of him that I find funny now that I could have picked up on from the radio, but you never know what's a bit and what's not a bit, I guess, or whatever. Yeah. But he is really just unorganized and
that is all. They don't meet your heroes, but I mean,
but ADHD, he's always got 50 things going on. I mean, he's always got another plan, he's a very nice guy. And honestly, it's kind of a funny story. The first time I met him, it's so kind of out of the blue, but and sad kind of. I had to put a kitten down. I had a little kitten that I had found, and I nursed it back to health. Found it when it was little bitty on the sidewalk, and I drove this damn cat all over Southwest United States. I took it on vacations. It was bottle fed. I already had a trip planned, so I just carried this kitten in my sweater, like my sweatshirt, and bottle fed it across the country, basically. And it ended up it was born with feline AIDS, and I didn't know it yet. And so I had to put it down. And I go to put it down, and as I leave the vet office after I put it down, I'm crying. I loved this cat because I had been sleeping with it, bottle feeding it. At this point, I had had it 6 months. So it just never really grew, and it just never really started acting like, it was always too loving, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so I was really super attached, and I'm already kind of a crazy cat lady. So I go, and I'm coming back, and I'm like, I got to get a drink. I'm like so upset, and I'm crying. So the first restaurant/bar coming from the vet's office is Al's. I'd never been in there. Yeah. And I go in there, and I know it's his, and but I'm not expecting him to be there. And I go in there, and he's the only customer in there, and he's sitting at the bar. It's like 2 p.m. because I just left the vet's office, and I have to pick up my kids and tell them the cat got put down, which I'd warned them, but I'm crying, sitting at the bar, and I don't cry in public, but I am crying, sitting at the bar, having a drink, and he's like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" So I tell him, he starts crying.
Oh, no.
And we're both sitting there crying at the bar over my dead cat. Yeah. And that is how we met, and we have been friends
There's
since.
Something bonding over special scenes like that with animals. I don't know what I get.
Yes.
My TikTok algorithm's all messed up, and so it'll start playing those sad cat videos, and I'll be sitting there in my room like, why am I 36 years old crying over something? Like over a cat. Like, oh no.
Yes, that is me. There was something today that popped up on mine. I don't remember what it was. And I started crying. And I was like, girl, menopause, though. It'll make you cry with the stupidest shit.
Oh, man. I think I've got some kind of empathy pains going on.
Yeah, menopause. We call that menopause.
Those and soldier returning videos. I don't know what it is.
Uh-huh.
They get me real bad.
Yep, that'll get you.
Those damn Toby Keith songs start playing, and I'm like, oh no, change it. I don't feel like crying tonight.
You got to change your algorithm. I was just talking about that on another podcast, that you can change your own podcast.
Yep, I heard that.
Yeah, you got to just start looking up funny dogs, funny kids, kittens, happy kittens.
Happy anything, or else I'm just going to be sitting here sad in my room like, oh man, why am I watching this? And then I can't stop watching it.
No, that's what's addictive. No, it's on your algorithm now, So that's what I do. If I catch my algorithm going wild, I'm like, no. Or if I'm interested in something, I'm going to look it up so I can change it to that, whatever the case is. Just like, how I've noticed recently that if you just say something in front of your phone, like we used to joke about it, but if you said something in front of your phone, but I am telling you, the other day, I don't think it even has to be in front of your phone, because the other day I was in the kitchen with Rick and Madison, and they had their phones, and I had mine upstairs, charging. And we were talking about something, me looking at something, and then the next day it's all over my phone. But I didn't even have my phone in the room with me. So I'm like, does it know through his phone?
It's weird how that works. I don't know. Don't give me conspiracy theories because I will go all day.
I mean, I'm like, I know they're listening. I know they've got to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they don't go through my search history. I think I'm a maniac.
Right.
Yeah.
And Chat GPT, are you a Chat GPT person?
I was at the beginning, and then I stopped using it. And
just because, are you against it? Or you just stopped using it because, like, you played with it and now you're done?
No, I messed with it, and I was using it, and then it started getting to the point where it was like I was trying to write things, so I was trying to use it to get ideas, and then I was like, man, this is not even like me, like writing this stuff. Like,
yeah,
every idea I'm getting is coming from something that's not real. Like,
see,
so
I don't use it like that because for that reason, because, well, and it, I think I sound a certain way, and you can tell if I'm not, Now, if I want to ham something up, I might throw it in there, but no, typically not. But I use it now instead of Google.
Yeah, see, my brother's a big proprietor of it, and he's all about it, and which is good. I mean, I love it. He helps me out with it whenever I need it. But when it came to the way, because I've always been fascinated with English and stuff like that. Writing, I've always loved writing music, anything that comes to my head, I'll write it down. But when it started doing that, and I started kind of like, oh, well, I'm having bad writer's block right now. Like, I can't think of anything to write. And I was like, oh, well, write me something like this. And I was like, this is just corny. Like, this isn't even me. So, kind of put it on the back burner and just, I like the authenticity of actually, like, being able to, my mind just works a million miles an hour. Like, it's moving, and I'll get to writing and it just comes out. It's like word vomit.
What is it you normally write? What type of stuff do you normally write?
Well, okay, so we've got a big band. Me and my brother, my buddy Jordan Roper and Justin, we're in a band, and we opened up for Bart Crow back last April.
Oh, wow.
Which was awesome because if you heard us the first time we played, I don't know how we got another damn gig. It was horrible.
And what's the name of the band? What's the name?
We are the 3-Day Band, and the reason that we're the 3-Day Band is because my brother got a gig. He got the gig on his own. He said, "I'm gonna do this," and so I said, "Do you need a acoustic player?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right." So I found an acoustic player, and so he goes, "You know what? If we're gonna have an acoustic player and a lead guitar, then we probably should get a drummer." And I said, "All right." So found a drummer 2 days before the show started. So we had a whole band by the show, put the whole band together. Yeah, by the third day, we had a whole band put together, and we played our first show 3 days after the band got put together, and it was terrible. Like,
were y'all singing other people's music? Surely you didn't have your own music yet. So
we didn't. Yeah, we didn't have our own music, and of course, if you're in a new band, then the drummer doesn't know how loud to be, and I don't know how loud to. And I played. I didn't play anything that show, but I do the sound for him and I write the music for him. So me and Jordan, my buddy, the bass guitarist, who's my brother's, the only reason my brother does, I think, is just to pick on Jordan the whole time. My brother's the lead singer in the rhythm guitar. And so they have a blast on stage. We're fun. You come out to one of our shows and it's constant joking around, cracking up. It's not serious, but we sound good. Like we're a good band. So.
And is it country? What kind of music is it? We
play everything: rock, metal, country. They got a couple of rap songs that they cover.
That's funny.
Yeah, and we have a good time with it. And so we got the call, and they're like, "Hey, you want to open up for Bart Crow?" And we said, "Us? Like us? The 3-Day Band?"
Yeah, who are you talking to?
Yeah, who are you talking to? So. We went and did the show, and they had their own sound guy, so I didn't have to do anything at the show. It was the first show I've ever been to that I didn't have to do. I did absolutely nothing. I got to just enjoy it,
Yeah.
And so the sound guy comes up to us after the show, after we got off the stage, and he comes in the back room with a band on. He's got a card, and he says, "Hey, when y'all get big, holler at me." We're like, "What?" And he gives us the card, and we're like, "All right." And he goes, "Y'all were badass." I said, "What? Us?" And he goes, "Yeah, dude," because we were playing our originals too at the time. So, yeah, and I wrote. This is what makes me mad about writing is because I wrote so many songs. My buddies have wrote so many songs, and they get reaction, But I wrote this one song called "Wiccan Woman," Wiccan, like Wiccan, and it's called "Wiccan Woman." And I wrote it in 10 minutes. I'm not even lying to you. Wrote it in 10 minutes. Our lead guitarist came up with a riff and the sound and everything. And I mean, it's badass. Like everybody did. That song gets requested more than anything we played.
Very cool.
And it makes me mad because I write all these pretty damn songs, and the one song that gets requested over and over again is a song I wrote in 10 damn minutes.
Yeah. Dolly Parton wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You on the same day.
That is insane. Think about being a fly on the wall in that room whenever that was going on.
I feel like she was going through something that day.
Oh, she definitely was. She probably had a couple in her by that point.
I'm going to tell you, Carl fucked up. I don't know what Carl did, but I know it wasn't good. And then he's got to hear the songs the rest of his life, like 60 more years, 70 maybe. I mean, like they were together a long time.
They were together a long, long time. Have you ever... I know you're a music head like I am. I think that's kind of how we bonded a lot of the time was music.
Yeah.
Because I saw Tyler Childers release Donita as an actual cut, and every time I hear that song, I think of you because I think you're the one that told me you need to listen to this song.
It's so good.
It's so good, but I don't know how to feel about the version on this new album because I'm so used to the live version. And I'm like, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. My point of view on it is I'm happy it made it to an album because most people didn't know it. I don't think that the new version is so far off the original. It's just really hard to recreate something he does acoustic, which pretty much,
really
is. I mean, how do you replicate that? I will say, this is my takeaway on it, though, is I know not everybody's a Miranda Lambert fan. I don't listen to a lot of mainstream country, but I do love me some Miranda Lambert. She is an amazing songwriter, first off. And, And she has a song about Waxahachie, and which I live in Waxahachie. And she released it first, and she released it on the Marfa album. And
that Marfa album was
so good.
I was like you. I'm not a big mainstream country fan, and I know Miranda Lambert's from around here, but that album, and it was her and Jack
Ingram, and there's one more. I've gone blank. There's one more that's really good that did it with them too.
But yeah, when I heard that album, I was like, all right, I'm a fan because
and that was just her being raw and acoustic outside. And so she redid Waxahachie, and when she redid it, she had a full band behind her, and I can't even listen to it.
Okay, so I'm not the only one here that feels like that. Whenever that, I like the new version of Onita. I'm used to that raw. So this is about loving an older woman.
Yes, yes. And I'm so connected to that song. As being a 50-year-old woman who got divorced at I was about 32 when I got divorced. So my 30s, I was very much a single mom, living my best life, whatever. And I dated many a younger person. And and I'm going to tell you, it was like real conversations you've had with people. It was, it was really what it's like, I guess. And I saw my friends in it. So I could see, situations or situationships my friends had with younger men. And so I can see, I know the woman, and I know the man. It's just there's many of them.
And I think that's why I related to it so much is because at that time, whenever you showed me that song, I don't know what the politically correct term is, but I was messing with somebody that was in their 40s, and I'm like, you can reference anything you want to. I'm going to say, I know what you're talking about, even if I have no idea.
It's such a good song. And, the new album, I've been listening to it, and yes, it's different, but it's not. It's like it's different, but it's almost like, in my opinion, it's like he's purposely running off people. I just don't, I think he's saying, I don't need y'all's money.
Yes, I feel the same. And I felt like he did that with the last album, too.
He's been doing it with the last few. He is choosing not to be what he doesn't want to be, and he doesn't care if it costs some money or piss people off, and I really like that.
Yeah. And I'm not typically one to get into a Facebook argument with anybody. So when that new album came out, and he had talked about how he didn't like playing Feathered Indians anymore because he didn't want to say Indians.
Yeah.
That's his choice, I'm not going to hate on it.
Right.
With somebody on Facebook, and of course, music will get me going. Like, you're going to get me in an argument, it's going to be about music, you know?
Right.
And so the guy posted, and he did the article, or he posted the article, and he said, Tyler Childers said, shut the fuck up and play music. And I said, man, that's crazy that Shut Up and Dribble has fucking transcended into music. Like, and he goes, what are you talking about? And I was like, I didn't expect you to know what I was talking about anyway, because automatically you sound stupid when you post something like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
then,
anyone that really listens to Tyler understands that every one of his songs is this, they all deliver a message.
they do.
He
And then
just some people just never got the message because they're not that deep themselves. But
exactly. Yeah.
you know, he's always delivered a message.
Yeah, I'm not claiming to be a sinkhole over here, but like, I mean, I get where he's coming from when it comes to how deep he's going with his music. And like I said, if everybody just said shut the fuck up and do this, then we would all be the same. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing to separate you from somebody else if everybody shares the same views on things, you know?
Right. And music is so personal because, like you said, you're sitting down and you're writing, and your writing is coming from somewhere. I mean, I'm a writer. I write too. I've written music with my friends. I'm more of a poet. I like to write poems and stuff.
Oh, friend about music, Erica?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. She's great. Yeah.
She's so funny. When we get together, though, our song, like there's all her songs that she puts out are like these beautiful. I mean, she might be upset in it, but it's beautiful. But if you heard us sitting around writing the songs, it's every one of those songs are a little bit more like Marianne and Wanda. We're definitely gonna. There's definitely Earl is definitely dying in our song. I mean, you know, there's definitely the word whore thrown around. We get as the night gets on, it gets funnier and a little bit more dark. And
yeah, and I think that's how it is with everybody. I think the songwriting process is like, if you're writing music by yourself, you're going to be in the dark place by the end of it. But if you're writing with your friends, it's a whole different thing. So my brother doesn't write music typically. He's
the performer.
Badass musician, badass guitarist, everything that he does. He's one of my heroes. He's my little brother. Me and him and my sister. My sister is one of my heroes. Like, we were real close. We were taught, you know, one day you're not going to have anything. You're going to have your brother and your sister. That's going to be it. And so that's how we kind of live life. But my brother typically doesn't write music. And so I don't know if I'm going to be out of place by telling this story. So I had a buddy and his girlfriend glittered his house.
Oh.
And when they broke up, well, he was going through it, so we decided to have a songwriting session. We're like, yeah, let's go write some music. Well, my brother starts playing his guitar, and he's just out here jamming. He starts singing the song, and I was like, damn, dude, what song is that? He goes, I wrote it. I said, you don't write music? He goes, well, I wrote this one about Jordan and his girlfriend. And I said, oh, Lordy. I was like, dude, that's awesome. So we played it the first night. She wasn't there, but I guess she heard about it, and it caused a whole big uproar where now she's one of the biggest proprietors for us to play because they got back together.
Of course. You know? She wants to hear the song about where she glittered it. She's all proud of herself. That's so cute. I would be too. That's a good story.
Yeah, glittered the damn house. You know, yeah, and so we were at our last show.
He's really lucky it wasn't the car, too, to be honest. I mean.
No. She got his car. She put it in his... This cracked me up because she put it in his air conditioner duct in his so the truck on the. Yeah, it was.
He's still getting glitter. He's still getting glitter.
I was mad until that happened, and I started laughing, and he started laughing. He goes, "I hate her." I said, "No, you don't. You love her."
That's so funny. I mean, it's toxic as shit, but it's funny.
It's toxic as hell, but you know what? It works for him. So who am I to say what you're going to love and what you're not going to love? You know? I
mean, I'm pretty sure you can put charges on someone for glitter these days. I
think there was some conversation about that at one point, but I don't think it ever went anywhere because they ended up together because they're them, and that's cool. Like I love both of them. So
that's so funny.
But it cracks me up because the first time we played that song, she, you know, I don't know if it was so much her family got really upset about it, and then it turned into. Now we played at our last show. We played at Diggs, and it was our best show we've ever played. We played it the other night, and it was badass. Everybody sounded good. We finally got our drummer to shut the fuck up. You know.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, next time y'all are gonna play at Diggs, let me know. And and if I'm in town, or if I can be in town, maybe I can get Rick to come out there.
Oh yeah. Well, So somebody requested the song, and my brother, he's kind of real hesitant to play it because he doesn't want to piss anybody off. And so he was like, I was like, hey, she wants to play this. And then I told his girlfriend, and she goes, play that song. It's about me. And I was like, see, that's music at its finest. That's how it's supposed to be. It was a bad time, but now it turns into something fun,
My daughter has like 4 different songs written about her, and none of them are nice.
If anybody's ever written a song about me, it's probably like, that's badass.
One of the guys that wrote, 2 of them are on album. No, well, okay, 2 different guys put songs on albums. One guy has like 3 songs about her on one album.
Oh my God, on one album?
Well, yeah. Well, they were together in the middle of his first like debut album. I don't know if he even did. Yeah, I think he did 1 or 2 after that. He was, he's like SoundCloud rapper.
Oh yeah.
And but no, he did real good. Like he signed with Def Jam Records, and while they were dating, like he was doing good. Honestly, I liked his music. I'm not gonna lie.
It was jam. Like, hey, I know this about you, but like, this thing,
I can't help it. It's catchy. It's real catchy.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really funny. And then my son at the time is like, this is when Zoe was like 20. She was 21, I guess. Yeah. It was because for her 21st birthday, I bought her tickets to LA to go see, LA and whatever. And the first day she meets the SoundCloud rapper. And
of course.
And so anyway, so her little brother at the time is like, he's like 10. And he goes and finds it on YouTube and like writes a paragraph about how his sister is dating the guy on YouTube. She was so embarrassed. And then he had no idea how he logged in and did it and did not know how to go in there and erase it.
Oh, no.
It's still there.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
That's great story.
So I'm just like, she was so mad, and he was like, I don't know how to remove it. I was like, at least he wasn't like talking shit. At least he was saying nice stuff.
Yeah.
That did not make her feel better at the time.
No, I'm sure it didn't. It's just it's fun. Like I've got my hands in so many cookie jars. It's unreal. Like I'm an ordained minister. I've done 26 weddings.
Oh wow.
And that was by accident. So I was supposed to do my cousin's wedding. Her and her husband, which her husband was one of my childhood friends growing up, and me and my cousin are real close. She's like my other sister, And during quarantine, during COVID and all that, we were supposed to, right before, it was, I think COVID started that January, but they hadn't shut anything down until April. And so we were supposed to go to New Orleans. She asked me if I'd officiate their wedding. And I said, yeah. I went and got my license and everything, got all that. And I said, I'll do it. Well, New Orleans got shut down. Like everything else in the world in 2020 got shut down. And so we had to have the wedding out in the backyard. Well, I did the wedding. They posted all the pictures and everything. Well, about a month later, I started getting texts. Hey, can you do weddings? Can you officiate weddings? And I was like, oh no, I just, mess up.
I think it's great. Listen, this is just one more chapter in your book. I say, just write another chapter. Why? I like to reinvent myself every few years. That's why I'm on podcasts and I do all the random shit that I do because I get bored. Yeah. I have to have an outlet.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens with me. Is I get bored and I'm like, hey, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? So I was doing just little backyard weddings, little things here. And I was like, I don't actually do like the ceremonies. Like I just, I'll give y'all a speech. I'll do the vows. If y'all need me to do the vows, y'all can do the vows, and I'll pronounce y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I had a friend, Rachel, and she was having a wedding, and I said, yeah, I don't do like the whole big ceremony thing, And she's like, all right. Well, she's like, that'll be fine. Like, I want you to do my wedding. I said, okay, I can do that. So I got me and my buddy Jordan. Yeah, you probably see me tag him and stuff. That's my boy. That's my best friend. And so, we went to this wedding, right? Get there, and it is like 300 people at this wedding. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I thought you said it was a small wedding. And she goes, it is. I was like, no, this is not. I was like, you understand? Like, I do like 2-minute ceremonies.
Yeah.
And she's like, you'll think of something. I did that ceremony in probably about 2.5 minutes, and I remember her dad or her father-in-law came up to me afterwards and goes, shakes my hand. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to be that big of a wedding. Like, and he goes, no, son. He goes, that was the best wedding I've ever been to. 2.5 minutes.
Thank you, son. In fact, here's a tip. Here's a
Yeah.
tip.
Gave me a tip. I went and got a tattoo while I was still dressed up in all my
Oh,
ordained.
my gosh.
That's another thing. Like the you see my Facebook post. I'm off the wall about a lot of things. You know.
Yep.
My mind just works ridiculous sometimes. So I'm how I gauge if my post is going to get traction is if my mom comments on there with my full name.
Oh.
She's angry. Jeremy Plumley, you better stop it. Jeremy, this is not funny. I'm like, if that's happening, then my post is going to hit.
It's funny. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that is my mom's passed, but my dad, he will comment on mine, and it's always dirty. He's a dirty old man, and he just says the most inappropriate things. And it's like, and every time he does it, I just respond, Dad. That's it.
Well, you know what? Different time.
I'm like, dude, why do you have to say that? And then Rick always catches it. Like, Rick never comments. You will never see him comment.
Yeah.
And but he reads everything, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, what was it? My dad said something the other day that was so inappropriate. I don't remember what it was. And Rick's like, I saw your dad's comment. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you saw that.
I was like, well, why you got to bring that up? He was like, man, he don't give any fucks. None at all. I was like, no.
That's awesome. That's how I want to be when I'm that age. It's just like inappropriate comment guy. Like, let me be me. You know, I don't have much left, but
let me just tell you, I know way too much about my dad. He is way too open with me. I'm just like,
you know what?
Pull it in.
My real dad, I know way too much about my real dad. My stepdad, he's a bad dude. My real dad, probably the smartest man I've ever met in my life, but he was a Lord I know way too much about. You know?
That's my dad. I'm like, dude, I don't need to know that. Every time he's got a new girlfriend, I'm like, dude, need to know nothing else. And
I don't need to know about that.
No, I'm like, I said, what if I told you this? I wouldn't give a shit. And you know what? He wouldn't. He'd laugh. He would not give a shit. I mean, I'm 50. I guess how long can you get upset?
Yeah.
But like my niece that's named after me. I have a niece named after me. My brother's oldest.
Really? So that's crazy because my daughter, my middle child, she's named after my sister.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's if you have a good relationship with your sibling, that typically happens, and we all have weird names. And I'm named after. There's a Zeta right there in San Saba buried. Like I'm named after someone else. It's a family name of mine from San Saba.
Yeah. I've always kind of wondered about that because you're Zeta and your brother's name was Zol?
Zol, yeah. Yeah, and you know what's crazy about it is that Zola, he's named after Zola, my great aunt, and she died when she was 106, I believe.
Oh, my Lord.
And she was from San Saba, born, raised, lived her whole life in San Saba, or San Saba / where the cabin is, because that was their original homestead, which is in between Goldthwaite and San Saba. And on the Colorado. And so that's where she's from. Zeta, who I'm named after, is not her sister. It's her sister-in-law. Her brother married a Zeta.
Really? So you're named after the sister-in-law, the one that wasn't even blood related?
That's my grandmother. I'm saying Zola is my great-grandmother. Zola was my great aunt, and I knew Zola very well because Zeta actually died young, and Zola ended up raising her kids. And so they're buried right there in the cemetery still. And what's crazy is I know nothing about Zeta because she died when she was like 32 and she died in like 35. So so she was very young and her kids were young. So they had vague memories and they weren't really talkers. So we didn't really know anything about her. And I mean, I've never seen a picture of her. No one I know of has a picture of her. It's really crazy. And so I am in Goldthwaite at, I don't know the name of it, that little like bar restaurant that's kind of new and has the painting on the outside of it.
Oh, Fisher Street.
Okay, yeah. Great food, by the way. And,
oh, my God. Really good food. Is that the one that has the automatic beer pour?
I don't know, but it has it's just real cute in there and they have good food. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And I just went there on my way back. I'd spent the weekend in San Saba and I left on a Monday or Tuesday and I was by myself and I was like, you know what? I wanted to stop in that place. If they're open, I'm going to stop and get lunch and then head home. So I stopped to eat lunch and there's people on the left side of me and I sit at the bar area. And there is an older couple to the left of me, and then there's two cowboys to the right of me. And one of them's about my age, and the other one is obviously like his son was my guess.
Yeah.
And that is who it was. And I'm just sitting there eating by myself, not talking to anyone, just eating. And the lady next to me said, "What are you doing here?" Because, you know, Goldthwaite, San Sabbath.
Yeah.
If they don't know you, they ask you, "Who are you?"
They ask you who you are. Yeah, that's how we are.
I get it all the time. And I wear a lot of black dresses. I don't know why. I just do. And I get a lot of questions about why I'm in a black dress. It's really funny. And so the lady to the left of me is like, "Hey, well, you know, who are you?" basically. And I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm just here visiting, you know, I have a family cabin. I'm just here visiting the cabin in my family." And she was like, "Oh, who's your family?" And I was like, "Oh, well, it's the Millers." And it's hard to explain. I'm going to relate. You know how it is. I'm related to a lot of people with different last names because they've married into different families. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, the so-and-sos, the so-and-sos, the so-and-sos. And she was like, "Oh, you're one of Richard Miller's kids. I mean, grandkids." And I was like, "Yeah, well, Richard Miller's been dead since 86. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Yeah, I am. You knew my grandfather?" And she goes, "Well, which one? Who's your mom?" And I said, "Sherry Vaughn." And she goes, "Oh, I love Sherry Vaughn. Yeah, I knew your grandmother, and I knew your whole family, and da-da-da-da-da. I was really sorry to hear about your mom." I was like, "Okay." And so we talked for a second. And then the cowboy to the right says, "Did you say you're Richard Miller's granddaughter?" Again, he died in 1986. Okay.
People don't forget.
and this guy looks like he's about my age, which means that he was a very small child in 86. He would be about 11 years old, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Yeah. Did you know my grandfather? Who are you?" And he goes, "Well, I guess we're related. I am related to your Richard's mother." I said, "Zeta?" And she was like, "Yes, I didn't know her."
No way.
I'm not kidding. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And he was like, "No." And I said, "Well, I'm Zeta. I'm named after her." And he was like, "I knew there was one named after her because Richard told me when I was a kid." I said, "You knew my grandfather?"
That's awesome.
And he was like, "Yeah, well, your grandfather was my great uncle or my uncle, like cousin. My dad's cousin is what he said. Your grandfather was my dad's cousin." And, but, you know, Zeta's brother is his grandfather or something like that. Yeah, and so I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "How did you know him?" Because my grandfather, did not like children. I am the only kid, other than my sister-in-law, long story, but other than her when she was a kid, because she knew him when she was a kid, we are the only two that remember him ever talking to us.
Really?
Not my brother doesn't even remember it. Like, nobody remembers him talking. He did not like children, and he liked me, but I was about it.
Well, you're a unique person.
Well, he did like my brother. He just didn't. He thought kids were to be seen and not heard.
Exactly. That was a lot of that back then.
Yes, and I've never been one to not let people hear me, so I don't think he had a choice.
Yeah, my grandparents weren't like that, thank goodness. But my Mexican side, my great grandma, she was so sweet. But she was one of those people, like, she would do I don't know if you ever heard the Kikoi?
Yes.
Okay, she would be like, she put her hand up and said, "Kikoi's going to get you." She couldn't speak English, but she could speak that. It scared the shit out of me.
That's funny. Well, he was like that. And so basically the guy tells me that, I said, "I know nothing about Zeta. Can you tell me something about her?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Where's she from? Like, where's my name from?" You know? Yeah, where'd you come from? And he goes, "I don't know how they picked your name. No one's ever brought that up." And he goes, "But she grew up down the river. She was up the Colorado River in Goldthwaite. She basically grew up by the Regency Bridge."
No joke.
No joke. And I had no idea. And that's how they met. They met, you know, at some kind of function, whether it be church or something, of everyone that lived off the river in that area that, you know, they would have their church things and their dances or whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, no, she just lived right up the river. We're from here. The family is still here." I had their last name's Long. That was her maiden name.
Oh, really?
Zeta Muriel Long was her name.
There's a lot of Longs down here in San Sabbath.
Yeah, I have no idea. Apparently, I'm related to him. And no one in my family really knows anything because basically my grandfather's dad's side took over raising them. The Millers just were like, "Okay, that we're going to raise these two kids now that she's dead."
Yeah.
And
I know one Long, and his name's John Long. And every time I see him, he talks to me. But he speaks Spanish to me, and he knows I don't speak Spanish. He knows I'm a coconut. Like, I'm but I'm white, you know?
Yeah.
He knows, but he speaks Spanish. He's like, he goes, "Plumley, ¿qué quieres?" I'm like, you know I don't speak Spanish, bro.
And that's, you know what? My brother's all spoke fluent Spanish, too.
Dude, okay, so I got my cousin's wife. So it's funny because me and my sister, my brother's real light skinned. Me and my sister are both real, dark skinned. We look Mexican. But my cousin's wife, my cousin Cody, his wife, Sarah, speaks fluent Spanish. So when we go anywhere and people start trying to speak Spanish to us, we're like, hey, no, talk to her.
Yeah, the white girl.
The white girl here speaks fluent Spanish. She knows what she's talking about. I don't know what you're saying.
My brother had an accent because he was a cowboy and like a professional cowboy, and he worked out in far west Texas with a bunch of vaqueros, and he would not speak English for 2-3 months at a time.
So he speaks Spanish the whole time. So he's just fluent.
Like fluent. Yeah. Like when I say fluent, he had an accent. Because the guys that taught him. And he learned construction before that because my dad had a concrete company. Yeah. So he's spoken Spanish since he's probably about 15. And he passed away at 49. And he would speak more Spanish than English for a few years there. And when his daughter, Zeta, the one named after me, her name's Madison Zeta, when she was a baby, her mom was in the hospital and he was out cowboying and they couldn't get a hold of him. So they sent me the baby and my dad the baby to take care of while she was in the hospital. This baby was 2 years old and only spoke Spanish.
Really?
This baby is white. Both parents are white.
But hey, you know what? That's not a bad thing to do these days.
I agree, but she does not speak Spanish anymore. They didn't keep it up. They had a babysitter that was Spanish, and they told her only speak Spanish, and they both spoke Spanish, so they would only speak Spanish, and they were hoping in the end she'd speak both. But now she's like, they didn't keep speaking it to me after like 5-6 years old, and she started losing it.
I wish so. My mom understands it, but she speaks it real broken, and it cracks me up when she's trying because she understands it. Yeah. She can't speak.
Well, that's so me. I understand a lot of it, and I can't speak it. I'm in construction, and I literally speak to Hispanic men that don't speak English all day long. Yeah. And we can work it out. I can speak some, I can understand, not speak. I can understand it, but I can't ask them the qualifying questions I need to ask them.
Yeah, yeah.
And that drives me nuts.
Yeah, I get that like 100%. So like I worked at Benny Keith for 13 years, right?
Yeah.
And when that all went sideways and I ended up, I didn't have a job, and my buddy Patrick, he's like my other brother. Me and him started there at the same time. He left, and when he left, he was like, "Hey, I can get you a job over here." I said, "All right." And I said, "What is it?" He goes, "Plumbing." I said, "I don't know shit about plumbing, I was like, I don't know anything about plumbing. So he's like, just go in for an interview. So I'll go in and interview for Ray Plumbing, and these people, it's a family-owned company, and all I'm used to is corporate, corporate. Like, your family don't matter as long as you're not making enough money. You ain't, it's a corporate kind of mentality. And so I go over here. I don't know, I'm not used to that, and so I go over there, do an interview, and I was like, I can learn, but like, I don't know. I'm telling you right now, like, I don't know anything about plumbing. They're like, "Oh, we'll teach you." I said, "All right." I said, "Well, this is y'all. This is on y'all. This ain't on me. Like, this is on y'all." So I do the plumbing thing for about a year, and it gets to a point. And the family I work for over there is so awesome. Like, they don't have to treat me like anything, but like, I think because I give them that kind of mutual respect, like we joke around, we have a good time. Because one of them, the owner's name is Bobby, and he's the scariest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you, most intimidating dude in the world. And I figured out how to deal with him. Is if he's about to bitch my ass out, I just try to divert the conversation. I try to make him laugh. Yep, and he, I don't know if he likes. I still to this day don't know if he likes me that much, but I think he respects me for being like, "Hey,"
making him laugh.
Well, exactly. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, have you gone fishing lately?
It's funny. My brother, when he was, he worked for a prison for a short time, and they hired him to be over the plumbing. Okay, and he was and he did know how to do some plumbing, like ranch plumbing, like water lines, whatever. And so he was like, "I'm not a plumber. I don't really know how to plumb." They're like, "No. These are plumbers. They were plumbers outside of prison. They do all the work. You oversee them doing the work."
Yeah, you just watch them doing the work.
You don't really have to do the work. You know. And he was, but you need to know some of it, obviously. And he was like,
Yeah.
okay, so that's what he does. Well, he did not tell the prisoners he spoke Spanish.
Oh no! So
So he worked there about a year. He didn't love that life. He went right back to cowboying. But he worked there about a year, and then finally it was his last day. And almost everybody on his thing were Hispanic, and he was like, in perfect Spanish, told them, "Hey, today's my last day. It's been a pleasure meeting y'all." He said they were all real nice guys. He was like, it's been a pleasure meeting y'all and working with y'all, and I wish the best for y'all, and da-da-da-da-da. And they were like, motherfucker, you...
We've been talking all this shit. Well, that's... Okay, so that's what I was getting to with this. So I go on these job sites, right? Because, you're doing plumbing, you're doing new construction, which means you're going to be working around a lot of construction workers. And so you don't know disappointment until you've seen a Mexican try to speak to you in Spanish, and you're like, I no sabe. And they look at you like you just kicked their fucking dog off a bridge.
I know, and they get mad. I'm telling you, I work in that industry, and we got a few Hispanic guys that work with us that don't speak English, and don't speak Spanish, and they give them hell.
Yes, they look at me. They're like, "You're brown." Like I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, like, I don't know way. Like, Porch, no way. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right? Let's go ahead and get your socials out there because I'm tying this up in a second. But I loved having you on here, and you need to come back.
Good Lordy.
Because we're 50 minutes in. We're going to have a long show. But I would love to have you come back because you definitely are a talker.
I did not. I thought we were going to go 20 minutes. Now we're here 53 minutes.
I'm telling you, it's real easy to go.
Well, I realize that, but I know me and you've had conversations in the past that lasted 2 or 3 hours.
I can talk,
And I love to talk and listen. So
we'll do this again. But you just got monetized, and that's when I was like, I need to get this guy, some people to pay attention to him because he's really funny.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. It was like one of my posts got traction, and then they contacted me and they were like, "You can be monetized," and I was like,
"All right."
I can make money off of y'all? Like, hell yes.
Yep, you can do that. Do it. And so if they want to look you up, he's on my friend list if you want to look up, if it's easier for y'all to find him, if you can't find him. But you spell your name for everybody so they can find you on Facebook.
It is Jeremy, Jeremy, last name Plumley, Plumley. So if y'all want to find me, y'all can find me. Zeta likes me, so like that's always been a plus. So
I do. I will, and I'll share a link to your thing. But find him, help him get his monetization and such, and I'll bring you back and we'll have another conversation. But I definitely want to see when you perform again. I do want to tell you to look into something because you're like me and you're creative, and I like to write things all the time. So I always have little notebooks and pads lying around and napkins, that I'm writing things on. And yesterday I found out about this new little pad thing, and it's called the Remarkable. It's expensive. The Remarkable. And it's like the Remarkable Pro, and then there's a Remarkable 2. And basically, my friend showed it to me that got one. And basically, it's like having a notebook. You can write whatever, but then if you write it and then you want to make it, it will read it and make it into like typed for you.
Really?
Yes. And then it has a bunch of other stuff. It does just a bunch of cool stuff, and it's just really good for writers in particular. It's kind of what it's made for. Yeah. You can use it for work or whatever the case is. But I'm a writer where I like to actually write. Like I like to use my hand to write, not type.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kenny Ray, if you're listening to this, you got to buy me one of those. I need it for work.
Yeah. Come on, Kenny Ray. You need to hook him up.
You need to hook it up.
Yeah.
Hey, can I tell one more story before I get off of here?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
All right. So I work. So I don't plumb anymore outside of the deal. I am material management now because I was such a bad plumber. I went to him and said, I am not a good plumber. Like, I can't pick this up. This isn't working. He said, we need to do material management. I said, all right. I said, well, I can do that. Right. So I work in the office, and there's 3 ladies in there. Right. and they started calling me Sancho. And I'm like, y'all gonna get my ass whipped by somebody one of these days. Do y'all know what Sancho means? I know Katie does. I know she knows what it means. And maybe Lauren does. Jamie might not know. so they're like, hey, Sancho. And I'm like, dude, y'all got to do it. Y'all's husbands are gonna kick my ass one of these days, right?
Yeah, you can't be calling me that.
Y'all cannot be calling me that. Like,
That's funny.
and about I joke about, I crack up. They kill me, right? So I go into So back in, I'm only telling you the story because I was asked to tell this story.
Okay, yeah, go.
This is a very, very dark time in my life, right? So back New Year's, probably 2016, I guess after me and the kids' mom split up. So it's probably 2016. I was at this New Year's Eve party, right? And this girl, I'd been trying to hit on her all night. I didn't think it was working. I was like, no, it's not working. So somebody's like, where are you going? She goes, I'm going to stay with Jeremy. And I was like, Jeremy, I'm Jeremy. Like, shit, you going to stay with me? That was like, all right, So I was like, hey, you going to stay with me? She goes, yeah. So at this time, me and Tiffany just split up. Me and my kid's mom, we just split up. And so she took the bed. So all I had a futon with a bunk bed on the top of it. Single dad stuff going on over here. Single dad stuff going on over here. And so we get back to the house, and she goes, where am I sleeping? I said, you got a top bunk. Just joking. She starts climbing up on the top bunk, and I said, what are you doing? She goes, no, you play too damn much. I was like, are you kidding me? I ain't getting up there. I'm like, I'm getting up on that top bunk. I'm telling you right now.
We're both about to be on that top bunk. You
know what? I didn't go up on that top bunk, and the next day we ended up at the same party, and she told everybody about that. So I got called Top Bunk Jeremy for a long time.
Top Bunk Jeremy, that's funny.
Top Bunk Jeremy, yeah. Yeah, but if anybody wants to follow me or anything, I'm going to get this out there because my minions, they think I'm funny for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, you're very funny. You're a very good writer, too. So.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. This was awesome.
Well, I'm glad you came in. I'm going to have you come back. You are definitely a great conversationalist. We will do this again.
Got to get me back on here because I love this. I always enjoy our conversations. So,
well, maybe sometime when I'm out there, I always bring my equipment when I'm out there. So maybe sometime you can come by and do a live one.
Some live going on here and some beers going on, and
It's funny. It gets funny. I'm gonna tell you, my girlfriend. Man. I tell you what, I bring it out there and I don't record a lot because we start drinking, and I'm like, I can't record us. We're slurring.
Yeah. I think last time,
and we'll start talking about shit we shouldn't talk about.
Yeah, but so I think last time you and Rick were out here, you asked me about the bar scene, and I was like, are y'all going to the bar? And you were like, no, I'm already drinking. I'm not going anywhere. I was like, damn, I wanted to meet y'all like in person.
Yeah, no, once I'm there, I'm usually there. But my stepdad goes to, what's the name of it? The Pecan Lodge? Is that the name of it? What's the name of the one in downtown?
Wait, yeah, who's your stepdad?
Ronnie Pete Smith.
Oh, no, it's not. Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So you got, has he never said anything about me? Because I'm really upset if he had.
No, he doesn't talk much. He's not much of a talker.
He is with, we call it Gigi. She's my best friend Taylor's grandma.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, well, my mom was his wife that passed away. That was...
Yeah, so you know Vicky, right?
Yes.
Okay, Vicky, we call it Gigi.
This tells you how small Sans Habit is right here.
Oh, my gosh, yes. So Ronnie Pete, so him and Vicky they just started dating, I believe. So Taylor, Vicky's granddaughter, is one of my best friends.
That's so funny.
And so I got kicked out of the house because I was being Jeremy, apparently, supposedly. I don't know how that works, but I guess I was just being too funny for other people. Yeah. So I got kicked out of the house that night, and me and Taylor are like best friends. And she said, hey, come over here. So it's me, Danessa, and Taylor. You know Danessa.
She is also related to me by marriage.
Yeah, okay. So it's me, Danessa, and Taylor, and we're drinking over there at Taylor's grandma's house. And I ended up crashing on the floor. And Vicky's, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
I ended up crashing that over there on the floor, and Taylor was sleeping in her bedroom. Well, Ronnie Pete walks in the house. He goes, who the fuck are you? And I'd never met him before. And I was like, I'm one of Taylor's friends, but I'm a big-ass Mexican dude sleeping on the floor in the living room of some random house.
That's so funny. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, he loves to tell that story to people. He's like, yeah, you know him? I was going to shoot him. I was like, oh, my goodness.
Well, I will tell you what, Ronnie Pete has been shot at by multiple women, including my mom.
I believe that. I believe that.
He told me, he said, she ain't the first woman to try to kill me. She just came the closest.
That is, you know what? You need to put that on the T-shirt.
Yeah, I do. He's so funny. He's so funny.
He did crack me up.
The stuff that comes out of his mouth. And it's funny because I know he goes up to have a drink up there every night, you know. And so I'd heard that. Yeah. And so when I was in town one day, I was like, let's go by and see if he's there. Because we were on I guess it was a weeknight. I don't think it was a weekend. And I'm not usually there on weeknights. And so it was me and was it my daughter? Oh, yeah, my daughter Zoe was with me. And or was it my sister? It was my sister. That's who was with me, my sister. And so we go up there, and there he is. And the bartender's, you know, he's like, oh, what are y'all doing? And the bartender's like, oh, you know, oh, who's this, Pete? And I was like, oh, we're his daughters. And he was like, you have daughters? We just cracked up. I said, yeah, he's got a son, too. You probably never met him either, and he lives here.
Dude, he's kind of a legend around here.
The man is hilarious.
Was he sitting in his regular spot on the far side of the bar near the wall in the middle?
Yes.
Yep. That's where he is. Yep.
He's adorable.
Just so you can watch the horse races.
He came to my family reunion. If you listen to the episode where I talk about my crazy ass family reunion, he was there.
Yeah.
And he is freaking hilarious. I love that man. The stuff that comes out of his mouth is ridiculous, but
he's something. He cracks me up. That's how small sense Saba is. So yeah,
that sums it up right there.
Yep. That sums it up.
Well, thank you for being on, and I'm definitely having you back. So anytime you want me to come back, you just let me know, and I'll put everything down to come back. All right, that sounds awesome. It was great talking to you. You did great, and I'm going to post a link so people can follow you.
All right, awesome.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
I mean, come on. Isn't he funny? Isn't that great? Thanks for joining us. Y'all, please listen, like, follow, leave a review. Just remind y'all that do normally listen to me. I'm going to read the review. If it's a bullshit bad review, I'm going to make merch that quotes it because y'all give me some. I've only had one bad review, but that one was comedy gold, and I will use it and abuse everything bad you say about me. Thank you for those. But if you got something nice to say, I like those too. So please leave those. And y'all keep following, listening, liking, and all the above. And again, and thank you, San Saba, for showing up and listening. I really appreciate it. And I love San Saba. I cannot say enough good things about it. It is it's honestly my favorite part of Texas. And you have nothing to be ashamed of from being a small town. And it's a hell of a town. And thanks for joining us.